Thrilled now to be joined by comedian and host of the comedy political podcast Freewheeling Roller Coaster of Fun, Primetime with Alex Stein. Alex, thank you so much for joining me here on the program. I want to talk a bit about Joe Biden here because, you know, we can never get enough Joe Biden. And there's an investigation going on to the former president's cognitive decline underway. But it seems we already have some controversy. Anthony Bernal, the top aide to Jill Biden, he was supposed to be interviewed by the House, but apparently now he's conveniently withdrawn from his testimony. Alex, what's going on here? What do you reckon that they're trying to hide?
Well, you know exactly what they're trying to hide. They're trying to hide who's using that autopen. So that's why they don't want to realize or let anybody realize who is actually making the calls during the entire Biden presidency. So that's why they're running for cover. That's why they're so worried about this investigation. And rightfully so, because me as an American citizen, I want to know that who was making those decisions to give all those pardons to all those terrible criminals at the end of Biden's presidency. I mean, there's a lot of stuff done that just ideologically don't even align with Biden's normal viewpoints. So I'm happy that this investigation is happening. I hope it doesn't stop, and I hope we actually get to the bottom of who's making the decisions for the past 4 years before President Trump won the election in 2024.
Well, yeah, exactly right. But, you know, also at the other side of this here, it's like we keep replaying the last 8 years of politics over and over again, because we've also now had this other push by the Democrats through Al Green and his effort to impeach President Trump. Well, that was blocked by the House, but Green said, I do this because I understand that the Constitution has got to be meaningful or it's going to be meaningless. Alex, correct me if I'm wrong, but if you start just throwing around impeachments every time you don't like somebody, well, that's going to make impeachment meaningless, isn't it?
Well, I mean, it's just the story of the boy who cried wolf. I mean, everybody is sick and tired of it, of hearing that Donald Trump needs to be impeached. Even the left is tired of trying to impeach him. So, you know, Rep. Al Green is doing this, you know, for a personal gain. He's just trying to do this to get some sort of clout and attention. It's very obvious. And even his own party's really not on board because Donald Trump shouldn't be impeached. So, you know, once again, one of these loony politicians, Al Green, during the State of the Union was getting kicked out. He's all doing this. He's doing all of this for show. He doesn't actually care about his constituents in Texas.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. But hey, you know, let's keep talking about our friends, the Democrats. I want to talk about Jasmine Crockett and her thoughts on immigration here. Let's play this, and I want to get you to fire up after this. Have a look at this.
Yes, we will say people are xenophobic because when you start to decide that just because somebody came from another country, they are automatically some kind of criminal, that does sound kind of xenophobic to me because you are using a paintbrush to paint an entire group of people where the vast majority of them are coming here because they are actually seeking a better life.
Frankly, Alex, I was really impressed that she could even use the word xenophobic. I mean, her Wordle scores must be off the charts here. But how on earth is it xenophobic to deport criminals who don't belong in the country?
I know, and you know what's funny? And if you really talk to Jasmine Crockett, if you talk to her off camera when she wasn't being a politician, you know that she would agree that she doesn't want a bunch of illegal immigrants potentially running into her car, potentially causing her problems. She's just doing this because she thinks that that's what her party wants her to say. And once again, similar to these other politicians, she's doing this for total attention. She's going up there and she's pontificating for illegal immigrants when she's not even an immigrant. She's a national born citizen. So she's fighting for not herself. She's fighting for attention and clicks. And it's working because now she's unironically one of the most popular congresswomen on Capitol Hill. So whatever she's doing is working. She's not very intelligent, but in Capitol Hill, it doesn't take intelligence. It just takes a big mouth and a lot of bravado to actually become popular, in this day and age.
Well, Alex, I guess, you know, what does that say about us that we've just given her a few more clicks? Does that make us, well, people can make their own judgments, I guess. Alex Stein, thank you so much for joining me. Check out his podcast, Primetime with Alex Stein.